people getting comfortable.
All right. All right. Yeah, we're on the air. Yeah.
Shalom, we out here once again, giving you the truth in the name, all blessings, and many, 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 many blessings to you, my brothers. In the name of Yahweh, today's date, believe it or not, is May 25th, 2019, year Charisma. We don't have anything planned. Whatever the Spirit gives us, we're going to ride with, just like a surfer on a wave. So if y'all got anything to say, bring it on out right now. Word association, bring out a word. Oh, pandemic.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
I was gonna mention about what you were talking about, the ship that's out there for 5 months.
Yeah, but I didn't, because I was watching your video and I heard it. Yep, on the Gary No show, there was a guest, and they briefly said that there's an actual ship out there that's been at sea, a U.S. naval ship that's been out at sea for over 5 months, just kind of cruising around. And the reason why they can't dock nowhere, because I think she said the whole crew is
Sick.
Is sick, man. You know. So now it's time for you to go into the movies. If you got, the Apostle Bar told me you got the movie Contagion.
Yeah.
So most willing, we're gonna watch it next week.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
And then we're gonna do a video on it. It's in my mind, but is it in your mind?
Yeah.
It's gonna be in my mind more when I watch it again, man.
Oh yeah.
And when that movie came out in the theaters a couple of years back, y'all saw it before me, and I went ahead and I watched it. Normally I bring my woman. I said, fuck it, I ain't bringing my woman. I'm going by my damn self, man. And when I went to go see the movie, there was maybe 5 more people in the movie, and they were all Edomites. See, Jake don't watch shit like that,
Nah.
you know?
Nope.
Jake don't know Jake's gonna get caught out there, because they don't know what the hell that's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what we can do? We can go into the word search, go into plagues, pestilence, Deuteronomy 28, plagues, curse you with plagues. That's not written in this book. And it's easy, man. If you can't find a subject, you do what's called a word association. Bring a word out there, and then the scriptures should pop up. You know?
You gonna set up your phone?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. Let's see if I got
And the word plague is in the scriptures many times. The word pestilent is in the scriptures many times. The word disease is in the scriptures many times. You good? You good? You good? Yeah. On the side, you good? So as soon as we bring it up, somebody, hey, if you could go to the blue letter. Go to the blue letter. Makes it easy. Do we got an extra?
Yeah.
Do I got to bring out my?
Go
Go to look up the word plague.
Okay.
And you know what? Let's go to Psalms 91. Because you got the word plague, you got the word plague in there, and you also got the word pestilent up in there, man.
You want me to look it up in the blue letter?
Just put it in Psalm 91.
Okay.
And whoever's going to read it, go ahead and read it.
I got it.
You might want to read it, or you good, brother? You good? You good?
I'll look up the precepts while you're reading them.
Yeah, and then you go, once you get to the precept, if you want, you can click on that and you can go into it,
Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
And this is the secret place of the Most High. That's why people can't get it. We had Polite on the other day. He's back in the mix, asking people about Jonah. And we may get into that, you know?
Oh,
You can't see it because you lack faith, man.
Right.
He's still messed
you
up
said
over
that you don't believe in the Most High. You made a statement that
Yeah.
you don't believe in the Most High. And what the hell you think gonna happen to you at the end of this thing? You're gonna die, man.
Yeah, because he
Even
shot
this
up.
guy saw a nigga. He said he don't believe in the Most High. You know?
Yeah, this guy shot up the Bible with a machine.
But I'm not offended by it. It's not my Bible. It's the Most High's Bible. You got to deal with that with the Most High. You can shoot up the Bibles all day you want, all day, every day. It ain't gonna hurt me in any way.
That's it.
I got my Bible.
Right.
As long as you ain't shooting up mine, brother.
Yeah, you don't shoot
You
up
know?
my Bible.
That's between you and the Most
Yeah.
High.
You're gonna rip that skinny head off.
Well, but they can't get it. They can't get it. Now we could have been that way.
Yeah.
We could have been that way, you know?
That's right.
Now, the Most High could have made us another Dr. Eric Mason, man. And that's why that dude, he was doing a lot of riffing about a month and a half ago. He ain't saying shit now. And because the Sakari was looking for him, and the Divine One was looking for him, man. Them you niggas in the Christianity shit, you don't know what the hell is going on. You know, you're easy. You are easy, man.
Like Sunday morning.
Easy mark.
Like Sunday morning, you easy like Sunday morning. French toast, Sunday morning, the church bacon.
Butter.
Yeah.
Butter.
Some butter, no more.
Yeah.
Niggas still eating margarine, man.
Oh, that's poison.
That's a chemical that scientists make during World War II.
Brother from Hawaii said Dr. Mason pulled a Harry Houdini.
Oh no, yeah. He just disappearing that boy. You know?
Harry
That song
Houdini.
Abracadabra. Let me reach out and grab you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reach out and grab his ass, but he disappeared.
All that stuff he was talking.
Oh, that dude.
That big swole nigga.
First of all, man, hey,
Big swole nigga.
all the scriptures and the way he was talking, that shit don't work on us, man. That weak ass Christian, as Ariella would say, Christianity,
Yeah.
not Christian, but Christianity don't work. That's for them slow-minded, simple-minded, bird-brained Negro. You
Yeah.
know?
That's right.
So we got it out?
Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
We abide under the shadow of the Most High. Why? Because we know the secret place. Go ahead.
It says, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in whom will I trust.
That's who we trust. Why do we go out here? And you got certain Israelite groups, like Barak and them from the HODC. Them guys don't even go out no more. They do their little gatherings and whatever, you know. They don't go out on the highways and the byways no more.
It's a drone.
Hey, look,
Sounds like a fly, right?
Yeah. Some nigga got the drone. Go ahead.
It says, surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
The noisome pestilence is the missiles. But then pestilence go into diseases. So the Most High, we see the Most High is going to deliver us from these diseases, from these outbreaks, from Ebola, from measles, which is nothing but Ebola,
Mumps,
you know, mumps, measles, chicken pox, polio, polio, rubella.
yeah, they said that's making a comeback too. Polio and typhus.
Well, the pneumonic plague,
Yep.
which is pneumonia, nothing but pneumonia. The
Bubonic.
bubonic plague.
Yep.
All right, all these, the Black Death. The bubonic plague is also known as the Black Death. Go ahead.
I got a scripture for the ultimate plague, the missiles.
Oh, yeah, well,
'cause
that's
you,
what he's
you-
talking
you
about.
said the pestilence?
That's a plague.
Yeah.
That's a plague.
Zechariah,
When somebody hold, oh,
Yep.
you got it anyway. You got
Yep.
it, Zechariah 14:12.
Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Go ahead, keep reading. Keep
And
reading.
it-
There's a lot more.
and
really, you can read from the first verse, but just keep reading from there. But that whole chapter, as Yaquar was saying, is dynamite.
Yeah. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult.
What day? The day that's getting ready to come.
Yeah.
The day of the Lord. Go ahead.
A great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
That's Second Ezra, the second Ezra 15th chapter.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. All hell
Second Ezra
breaking
the
loose.
15th chapter keep popping in my mind.
Fine.
Second Ezra 15, Second Ezra 16, Second Ezra 13.
Time of Jacob's trouble right
Time
there.
of Jacob, Daniel 12.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Y'all are going into the something, and I put in 70 AD. That
Yeah.
42 months really goes back to 70 AD.
Yeah.
You know?
42 months. Yeah.
Yep.
It's twofold.
Con. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse and of the mule and of the camel and of the ass and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts.
Now you know where that goes to? Read that part again.
the 16th verse. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations.
The nation. Somebody please hold me Daniel 7 verse 9. What's going to happen to the remainder of the nations? The other heathens. Are we just going to make them disappear? No. They're going to be in our kingdom. Under us, we're going to be teaching them the Lord. That's why all Israelite men shall become priests. Why? Why are we going to become priests?
Teach the other
To
nations.
teach the other nations, because we're going to know the Lord.
Yep.
Somebody hold Jeremiah 31 and 31. Give me Jeremiah 31 and 31. So these white tacky Christians talking about the Lord done away with. But wait a minute, the kingdom, you're right, the Lord is done away with because nobody follows the Lord.
Right.
But the Lord is going to be reestablished in the kingdom, man.
Yep.
That's why the Apostle Paul said in Colossians 2:16, which is a shadow of things to come.
Yep.
He said, don't put no pressure on the Israelite foreigners because these laws are a shadow of things to come. When the kingdom comes, the law is going to be established all over again.
Right.
And we're going to be the enforcers of the Lord.
Yeah, like King David said, he said that he will perform the act. I'm not quoting it verbatim, but pretty much he's gonna keep the law in the kingdom because he knows that he won't be able to go off. You know,
Well, yeah,
Psalms
if you can find it, that would be
51.
good if you can find the scripture.
I got it.
I'll get it after this.
Quick precept, Ezekiel 36 and 27. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. So that's in the kingdom.
That's it, straight to the point.
I got Jeremiah 31 verse 30.
Go ahead.
All right, Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 31. At the same time, I'm sorry, give me a second. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
So what's the difference between that, the old covenant and the new covenant? The old covenant, as you read on, is going to tell you. Go ahead.
Right. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts.
So who is he talking to? The nation of Israel. That's why the Apostle Paul brought it back up in Hebrews 8.
Yep.
See, that's why vocab and them don't understand how the law works. They don't understand it. They'll go to Hebrews 8 and they'll say, well, it's talking about the Gentiles. The word Gentile is not mentioned in anywhere in Hebrews the 8th chapter, you know?
That was addressed to the Hebrews.
The Hebrews. Go ahead.
It says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts.
And that's literal. He's not gonna write it on stones, tablets of stones. He's gonna write it in our hearts. The word heart in the Hebrew is love, which means mind. He's gonna program us. And they said that the reason why Tiger Woods was so good because his father was a hypnotist in Vietnam, and he actually programmed his son to be the best golfer there. You program your son.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if you get in a fight, you program a person to be the best fighter in the world. Oh, 40th Street Black with JJ,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
hypnotize, they program.
Yeah.
He said, "You the meanest. Am I the meanest? Am I the baddest?" And they actually hypnotized him to beat 40th Street Black.
Yeah. That was Sidney Poitier.
Oh, Sidney Poitier.
He hypnotized him.
Yep, hypnotize him. Hypnotism is a powerful thing, man. Look, when we come out here and we teach you, all these people that came to GMS, guess what? We hypnotize you into coming to GMS, man.
Yeah.
We brainwashed you. Them guys be brainwashing you. Damn right we brainwash you, man.
Yep.
And them Christians are trying to dirty your brain.
Yeah, dirty.
Yeah.
Well, brainwashing is a good thing, man.
Yeah.
As long
Brainwash.
as we brainwash you and program you in righteousness.
I caught you with guile.
I caught you with God. Yep. Go ahead.
Right. It says,
Got a quick precept.
verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of
From
them.
the least Israelite to the greatest Israelite, they shall all be priests. That's the fulfillment of Exodus 19:6. Somebody get that?
Yeah, quick precept for the brainwashing. Ephesians 5:26, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So it's the word, the word that cleanses us. Tells you that in the book of John 15:3. Also Psalms 119:9. So like Elder Apostle Tar said, brainwashing is a good thing, because we're being washed from the filth of this world by this word.
Give me, what is that? John 8:32, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's John 17:17.
Yep.
And this world is filthy, man. All the philosophies of this world is nothing but filth.
So we're bringing you out of darkness.
Yeah.
Anything that you was into before you became an Israelite, or before you encountered the Israelites, was all darkness. Whether it be Moors, Hermetic, Baptist, Methodist,
Like-
Jehovah wickedness.
Like if I may say, some of you guys out there, thought it was cool to take your friend's girl, but when you come into this truth, you find out that's adultery. That's filthy as hell, man.
But they know in the spirit they ain't doing right.
Yeah,
You know,
well, that's
what
true.
it say?
They're
It says
creeping.
Romans-
That's why they creep.
It says, how is it put? They are law within themselves.
Right. The Gentiles which have not the law.
Yep.
Become a law. That's either in Romans.
Romans 2nd chapter. Yeah.
Go to that. Go to
I
that.
get it. What's that?
Romans 2 and
I went in on it about a month ago or so.
Yeah, they made it a thing of the world, because if you remember when rap first started, that was one of the main things they boast about. Their cars and how I took this guy's girl.
Well,
and
that's wickedness.
and
they
that's
know
that's
wickedness
adultery and
because
that's
the spirit-
wickedness.
They have a spirit of an Israelite.
Yeah.
So they know that they're doing wicked, man.
Yeah.
And that's why Jake frown away. They look the other way when they see a homosexual, because they know in their spirit is wickedness, man.
Yeah, that's another
and then
thing.
Jake men that
Homosexuality.
go down low. Why they call it down low? Esau don't call it down low. Esau be open about it.
Oh, he's
But they're the
comfortable with it.
devil.
Yeah, he's
But
comfortable with
Jake
it.
does it because they know what they're doing is wicked, man.
Oh well,
There
Romans.
ain't no- hey, if
Romans,
Denzel
the first
Washington
chapter.
came out and said he was a homosexual, half of the people wouldn't watch his movie no more, man. 'Cause I ain't watching Denzel no more. Fuck Denzel, you know?
yeah, like Marlon Brando.
Or like Marlon Brando, yep.
I got Romans 2:14. It says, For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves.
What happens
Got to be
to
your service.
No, it's starting to do what it was doing last week.
Got to be
Yeah,
your
that's
service.
why I can't wonder. Hey, brother, that's Esau messing with you, man.
I want to try my phone. You can log in and see if it
Hey, just deal with it, man. I mean, his is going pretty good.
Come.
Maybe you got to get another phone.
You might want to record
It's
it.
a service. It might be the service.
It might be the service, man.
Yeah, the service.
You got the same service as he got?
No, you got what you got?
Verizon.
Verizon. I got T-Mobile. Yeah, I think I'm going back to Boost.
Yeah, it's the service.
Brother, ghetto, the finest chick come out the ghetto.
Young
And
buck.
that's true. The finest hoes come out the hood. So why don't you go back to the hood, brother, and get you a boost?
Back to the hood.
This boost ain't never failed me.
Kept buffering on the
You
apostle.
try to be sophisticated, brother. And where we at?
This is Romans 2:14. It says, For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things
Now,
contained
what is it
in
talking
the law.
about? The Gentiles. It's talking about Israelites that lost the memory as far as being Israelites. Vocab. Go ahead.
It says, For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by
Israelite
nature
foreigners which have not the law. Go ahead.
do by nature the things contained in the law.
Do they do things in nature contained in the law, man?
Yeah, why?
That's why if a Jake man likes dudes, he ain't gonna go around and tell his homeboys, man.
Yeah.
He won't go around and tell his homeboys. You know?
Yeah, why do
Same
they?
thing with the nigga women. A lot of nigga women go both ways. But when they go that way, they do it
Secretly.
downtown with the white girls.
Secretly.
They do it secretly, man.
Yeah, why would they do things that's contained in the law? Because by nature they're Israelites. There's a quick precept here, Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, not no other nation, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children. I got one more.
Somebody hold
I still got a little point.
Isaiah, I believe it's 8 and 20, is it?
Yeah, because the law wasn't given to the other nations. Deuteronomy 4, 5, and 6. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Yeah, because you have to have laws. You got vocab and them talking about you don't got to keep the laws. The Lord only, you just go by Jesus' laws. First of all, did the Lord teach that you cannot kill or murder? Huh? And because Peter killed 2 people with spiritual power, put them to death. All right, so what happened to them? Did they go to hell? You don't even try to deal with this because you can't, man.
Yeah. Well, this proves that he didn't give the law to the other nations, because why would he say this? Why would he say, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations? Why would he say that? Because he didn't give them the law.
Now, why didn't he put a lot of pressure for them, the Gentiles, to keep the law? Because he was trying to get them to your house shop.
Yeah, he wanted to get them rooted first.
Rooted first, yeah?
Yeah, he said, didn't he say, let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind?
Yep.
I'm going to finish this. It says, which shall have these statues, so obviously they didn't have them, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for?
Where you reading from?
Deuteronomy 4 and 7. Now I'm in the 8th verse. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? So that's the point. The other nations didn't have the laws. They weren't given the laws. Only Israel
They're going to get the laws in the kingdom.
in the kingdom. And they're going to learn it by paying under us. Because we're going to beat it into them. Because they're going to be our slaves.
So we're going to make them serve our God. Because there's only one power.
Yeah.
And we're going to make them serve our laws, which are the laws of the Most High.
Yeah.
So they're going to honor the Sabbath. They're going to honor the high holy days. That's in Zechariah 14.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, just like the so-called white man beat
They're
his...
going to call on the Most High's name.
Yeah. Just like the so-called white man beat his law into us. What you think that was all about in
And
Roots?
Esau got his own laws.
Yeah, he got his own
Go to
laws.
a red light. You know, if there's a curfew, you got to be in the house at a certain time.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things you can do and certain things you can't do under Esau's laws.
Yeah, like when...
So every kingdom has laws, man.
Yeah.
So, but in our kingdom, we ain't gonna have laws. You can just do what the hell you want to do.
Nah.
That's a stupid kingdom.
Yeah, like when you were saying the cop pulled you over. Why he pulled you over? Because it's Esau's law. That's why he pulled Apostle Elder over, because it's Esau's
And
law.
there's nothing I can do about it.
And there's nothing you could do about it.
You know?
What about 3 weeks ago, they pulled me over. And the cop, he didn't give me no ticket, though.
Well, he just wanted to show you that he had power.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, I'm gonna show you, nigga, that I got power."
But I agreed with him real quick.
If you got it, right? Well, give me that map.
Yeah.
Agree with Diana.
You know what I told him?
Adversary.
He said, you want to know how fast you was going? You were going I said, hey, man, I'm not going to argue with you. But first of all, I didn't know where to stop. When he pulled me over, it was real dark. It was one of them lonely roads, no lamps around. So I didn't know where to stop. So Spirit said, well, stop by the stop sign. So I said, hey, I'm just pulling over. I don't know where you want me to stop. And then at the end of everything, he said, I appreciate your honesty. I'm just going to give you a warning, blah, 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 blah. And
He
that was
wanted
it.
to show you that he was in their thought, man.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And yeah, I cowered to him because I was being smart. What am I going to do?
Well,
Argue with the guy?
Be wise and serpent as hard as a dove. Don't
Yeah.
be a nigga.
Yeah.
You cannot be a nigga and be in this truth at the same time.
No, hell
Because
no.
if you're a nigga, the Most High gonna get rid of you.
And he let me go. And then when I got home, I sent curses on him. I remember when I got home, I sent curses on him. I was asking the Most High to inflict him with tribulation, put him to death.
Put the bowl on his ass.
Yeah, that would be nice too. The water, Apostle.
Oh, because we can smell and he's double faced, but then behind your back, that's the most out of fuck. Oh, just
Yeah.
like my man,
Fight
the
like a
branch,
leader.
the branch of Israel in Baltimore.
Yep.
And how's this nigga being a branch? That's the only group he got. How's that a branch? Where's the tree at? So I opened up that video up with a curse, and you felt salty and shit, you know? And I put that same curse. I put your name in the curse again, man.
Yep.
You know? And don't give me that brother shit. Like neighbor, you ain't my neighbor.
Right.
You ain't my
You ain't-
brother.
you ain't
nothing
our
but a
brother,
black
man.
Edomite, man.
Demon.
Looking like the picture on the hot sauce bottle, man.
Damn.
Even the scripture says, "Of the Most High, upbraideth not." But you guys were upbraiding us. You know what upbraid means? It means in the face you talking nice, but behind the guy's back, you talking shit about him. That's what the word upbraid means. That's what you guys were doing.
Double tongue.
And so that's why I cut to the chase and put a cursor in you.
That's
I
it.
looked at your face, man.
And
Six
he
things
proud.
the Most High hate. Yea, 7 is abomination. The first one is a proud look. You got a proud look, man. You know? And when people come up and ask us questions, right? We don't look at them proudly.
Right.
It could be an Edomite. We'll look at them, you know, okay, this means this and that means that, man.
Right.
You got that proud look. Why? Because you're not a man of the Lord. You're just like Nazi and the guy, the former head. The most High, them people about gone, man. They don't want to do that no more. That's a burden on them to have to do videos. They don't want to do it no more.
Right.
But if they stop doing it, we're going to get on them.
Yep. He's a novice.
That's it.
Falling to the condemnation of the
That's
devil.
it. That's it.
Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him.
That's a lesson to you Jakes out there, man. Now that you're becoming Israelites, don't be having no shouting matches with the cop when they pull you over. You know? Show some wisdom, man.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
I said that I'm doing the wrong office, so I didn't realize it. Can I have your license registration? Here you go. Get the ticket. Go to the fucking judge. See what the hell he says. But
Yeah.
that's good that happens because that gives you that edge. That keeps that edge on you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like when you a guy, oh, the white man's all right. When the
Yes.
white man start putting
He's a
hell on your
fucking
ass,
devil.
you're gonna learn how to. You're gonna learn. We're gonna learn you how to. Most I'm gonna learn you how to hate him, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hate this man. The film niggas hated the white man because they put hell on him, man. Now them house niggas,
Yeah.
they were all right with Esau. You know?
You know, when I looked at that cop's hand, his hand was shaking a little. Because,
Yeah,
like
he
I
didn't
said,
know-
it was very
'cause you were-
deserted.
you were
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was
He
cool
didn't-
as hell. His head. I looked. The spirit said, "Look at his hand." I looked at his hand. His hand was shaking. Then I said, "This guy's a cop. He got the gun and everything, but his hand was shaking."
And because people don't like motherfucking cops. You know, when they
Nah,
find out
nah.
a cop get killed in an explosion,
Yeah.
ain't nobody, so what?
nobody
Yeah.
Maybe another 10 die that way. You know?
Yeah.
Because what does an officer mean? He gonna pull your ass over, he gonna
Oppression.
give you summons, he gonna talk shit to you.
He's an
And so
instrument.
he's oppressive.
Yeah.
He even oppresses his own cracker kind.
Yeah.
Now, if Esau don't like you, you in big trouble, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when all hell breaks loose, who they gonna go after first? You motherfuckers, man.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The first
Oh yeah.
line.
Oh yeah.
It says,
And what
least-
are they doing out there in France? This is 7 months, 28 weeks.
yeah,
28 weeks, 7 months.
protest.
Yeah.
They've been, and they're the first republic. France, not no fucking America, man. Talking about America's the first republic. The first republic for these dummies out here that think they know fucking history. The
That's
first
right. That's
republic
right.
is fucking France, man.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Any doubters out there?
Yeah, they do. The first republic. No, the first republic. Look it up, clown.
They don't even know what the word-
first republic is France, and then Esau, America followed suit.
They don't even know what the word republic means.
They couldn't spell republic.
Yeah. You break down the word republic. What does it mean?
So what's the first republic in
Yeah.
America? Oh, really?
And America's not even a republic.
Hey, go to Google. Put in French Republic.
America's not even a republic
It used to be.
in the true sense of the word.
Was it Jefferson that said that? He said, "What do we have, sir?" He said, "We have a republic if you can keep it.
Yeah.
Meaning you can lose a republic." through corruption.
I don't. You know what, Apostle Elder, I don't think it ever was. It was like an experiment.
Well, it didn't. No,
yeah.
it wasn't a republic.
It gave the
because,
people.
No,
yeah.
it wasn't a republic because republic means res publica, which means a public thing. Which
Public
is the law.
thing, right,
They
right.
started with the law.
Con.
You know?
But it was always the bankers was always
It's
they were
an
in control from day one.
Even,
Yeah.
Even Clinton said that in the inauguration.
Yeah.
He called America bold experimentation.
Oh, you know what proved
He
that?
called American experiment.
You know what proved that? All these so-called founding forefathers, they were in the pocket of the Rothschilds
Oh, yeah,
anyway,
they were
from day one.
yeah, they were
So how could it? You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his face? He.
That and the one that confronted him was put to death.
Yeah.
This guy McKinley, Jackson, they tried to put him to
Yeah.
death. Lincoln, they put him to death.
Yeah.
When they caught John Wilkes Booth, he said death to the tyrant.
Death to the tyrants. Yeah.
And he said that he did this under the orders of the bankers.
Yeah.
know?
This
So
guy.
the average American is a complete fucking
that's-
idiot. And I don't care if you got a fucking degree, you're still a
Oh,
fucking
bigger idiot.
man.
You're a big idiot.
And one day we're gonna go to one of these prestigious universities and we're gonna confront these professors, man.
Like we used to do. Well, we did that back in
Yeah,
up in Yale. They started. They would they'd walk on the same side. They'd call themselves challenging us. You remember?
No, I had
Yale.
the one at Yale I didn't go to. I don't think when y'all brothers challenged them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
After about a week, they'll walk.
Then they walk on the other side.
Burger
Yeah.
King,
Yeah. Con.
By the bus stop.
Yeah.
They go to the Israelites, man. Walk on the other side of the street.
Benjamin Franklin. He was going back and forth to France, basically begging for money.
They're getting his marching orders.
Yeah. But
He
they.
was the one that brought macaroni and cheese over here to the Americans, man. That's from Europe.
Oh, we got a scoffer. Terror Doom.
I got the French-
Terror
First
Doom. Tahar's finished.
Hey, kick them off.
Terror Doom.
Even though we don't mind scoffing, kick
Uh,
them off
you-
anyway.
These guys,
Kick 'em off
man.
anyway. Come back with another avatar.
Yeah, for real.
What are you doing, my man? Are you out there? How often do you go? Where's your videos at? Guarantee if you go to this page, it'll have
Oh, he ain't got shit.
subscriber.
He ain't got
It
shit.
ain't no videos,
yeah,
no
yeah.
content. You know? So we kicking you off.
Yep.
So you come back under another avatar. Go ahead, brother. Did you look
Yeah.
up?
Yep. French first. The French First Republic. In the history of France, the First Republic, officially the French Republic, was founded on the 22nd of September 1792 during the French Revolution. The First Republic lasted until the declaration of the First
Okay,
Empire.
they're saying it's 1792. I got to go more into that. I think it was before 1776. But I got to go into that. All right.
It says
Put in Marie Antoinette.
Marie
Put in Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette.
Because that's when the Republic started, when they chopped her and her husband's head off. Chop her motherfucking head off. Let me see what that is.
Marie. Okay. All right. Marie Antoinette, born Maria Antonia Josefa Johanna.
Damn.
The second on the 2nd of November, 1755 to
When did she get her head chopped off?
October the 16th, 1793.
Okay, so the Republic kind of came after the American Republic. So I stand corrected. You know?
Yeah, she was the last queen of France before.
Yeah,
the
that's when they
French
started the French Republic. So I guess the first republic is America. Well, that proves that that's Babylon the Great. You know?
That's Rome. Also.
That's Rome. Rome coming back, you know? All right, let's go back into where we at. What scriptures are we at? Are we in?
Iran, let me finish.
Yeah, that's the service, brother. That's not the location,
Okay.
that's the service.
Yeah, service.
Crappy ass service, man.
Service.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter, the 25th verse. It says, "Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison."
Yep, that's all we need.
Yeah.
Now, we had a bunch of scriptures before we...
I had Psalms 91.
Psalms
So let's
90.
go back to Psalm 91.
Yeah, Psalm
You told me
91.
also we did Jeremiah 31. We did.
We already read that. You read it.
Oh,
You
we
read
did,
most
okay.
of it. Yep. So Psalm 91.
Yeah.
That boost is cheaper, man.
Read it from the top.
Yeah.
Psalms 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
So we dwell in the secret place of the Most High, but the Most High gave us a secret place, and He told us to go out on the highways and the byways, on the rooftop, you know, on the top of the mountain, shake the hand, exalt the voice, lift the upper banner, that they may go into the gates of the noble. With what? With the secret. The Most High gave us a secret, and He, you know, the scriptures and guided us to get the understanding, decipher it. But He said to go take this secret and tell the whole world, but the whole world's not going to listen. Ain't that something? You got a secret. You telling people the secret, but they don't want to know the secret. You know? Go ahead.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust.
So that's what we trust in. Why do we go out here every week in and week out? Why do we do videos, sit downs all week? Because we trust in the Most High.
Yeah.
You got Israelites out there, them celebrity Israelites. They take the winters off. They rarely ever go out speaking. Hell, there's some of them that might go maybe out there 2 times a year, because they're doing their own thing. They're seeking to establish their own righteousness, pursuant to Romans the 10th chapter. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence.
What's a fowler? Anybody know what a fowler is?
It's one
They
who
catch-
catches
they
a
catch
bird.
birds.
Yeah, catches.
They set up a trap. The birds come in,
Right.
and they catch them.
Huh.
So the fowler is what? This destruction. You don't want to be caught by the fowler.
Right.
Go ahead.
And from the noisome pestilence.
The noise and pestilence is what? Those missiles. Because the missiles are going to make a lot of noise. Give me 2 Peter. You know what I want? 2 Peter 3 verse 10. Esau don't know what's going on.
Nope.
Jake don't know what's going on. The only ones that know what's going on are us here at Great Millstone, from the apostles on down.
Yeah, 2 Peter 3.
Even our teachers don't know what's going on. Ariah don't know what's going on. Ariah is bugged out at this particular point in time. At this particular point in the fight.
Yeah.
Go
2
ahead.
Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away for great noise, and the elements
Every
shall.
one, brother, I could take it to my man up in the Bronx, the Boost man, and he'll hook you up right then and there, where my demon live, man. Right at the fucking block.
Yeah, I'm gonna go,
And you go out, hey, but that's bullshit, man.
Yeah,
You probably paying too much money any goddamn way. You know? Come on, brother, you can get two fucking Boost phones for that. You know? I'm dead serious. Go ahead.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away for great noise, and the
And that
elements.
noise and pestilence. When those missiles hit ground zero, you gonna hear a loud noise, banging, explosion. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
What's the element? Everything that you see. Cars.
Yeah.
Cars are made out of metal, plastic,
Stones.
stones, buildings, bricks, wood.
Humans.
Everything is gonna melt from that intensive heat.
These scoffers, they're going to melt too, right along with it.
And what, they got a scarf up there right now?
Yeah,
What is he saying?
all kind of BS.
Well, take a more.
Yeah, well, that's what I've been doing.
Take a more.
One time I read this thing where it said that a nuclear silo, that it gets as hot as or over 100, more than 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right,
Within the
something
silo.
like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. It melts everything.
Yeah.
It melts everything. You know? It's disintegrating. Melting. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation
So
and
when
righteousness?
we're speaking right now and teaching, we're involving ourselves in holy conversation, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the people that are listening to our holy conversation. All right? So that's the mindset you're supposed to be in, man.
That's right.
You ain't gonna hear Great Millstone opening up a new building. We don't need a new building, man.
No.
We are the building. The building is here.
Yeah, the scriptures tell
You
us
can go
that.
anywhere. You see how many every week we go to a different place,
That's right.
and that every place that we go becomes a church. You know.
That's right.
But what about if it gets cold? So what? We still
Yeah.
out there when it's
We'll
cold.
be out there.
Go ahead.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what
All
manner
these things in Babylon, America,
what
will be
manner
dissolved. Go ahead.
what manner of persons ought you to be? In all holy conversation and righteousness, looking for and hasten unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein in the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
So the new heaven and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, is the new Jerusalem. Somebody give me Revelation 21 verse 1.
Yeah, the part where it says, as according to his promise, you can find that in Isaiah, the 65th chapter. So Peter was basically quoting, because Peter wrote this
Yeah,
letter.
that's number quote from the Old Testament.
Yeah, he was quoting Isaiah, the 65th chapter.
Revelation 21:21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
You mean Revelation 21 and 1?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
You said 21 to 21.
Salaki, Revelation 21:1. It's been one of them days today.
Yeah, Georgia?
Yeah, I tried to go to the other account, but it wouldn't let me. So I just, keep starting it. It said Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
The first heaven and the first earth is Esau. Esau is heaven, Esau is earth. Go ahead.
It says, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Now you got these Christians teaching that there's an actual city that's going to come down. No, that city is Israelites. That's in what, Isaiah 52? Somebody give me Isaiah 52.
I got it.
Go right to the point. Something around about the second verse, third verse. Actually, start at the top. For learning sake. Edification sake.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
So Zion is Israelites, people before it's a place. Go ahead.
Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
The heathens, man. You got a lot of people that mingle themselves among the nations.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Like we saw earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
So that's showing you that the Jerusalem are the people of Israel, man. Jerusalem means Yerushalayim means city of peace. All right, so we can go back to where we left off in Revelation.
Okay, Revelation 21:3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power.
Them are the Israelites, not them heathens. Go ahead.
It says, and the power said, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
What does it mean I make all things new? Of course, what's the Greek word?
Kainos.
Kainos, which means he's going to renew everything.
Fresh.
Because he's not going to destroy the earth. He's going to renew the earth. It's just like an old house. You tear down the bad part and you build it back up and it looks like a brand new house.
Right.
It really ain't a brand new house. It's the same old house, but they renewed it.
Right.
Same thing with the name. A new name, we can renew the name. Because nobody's calling on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. There's only a small number of us.
Restoration.
Restoration, yep.
And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely.
Well, that's what you're getting right now. You'll be in. Give me that in St. John 7:30, was it 35, 38?
Got it. St. John 7:38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
So what does it mean? Now when you look that word up in the Greek, it means like a waterfall, a mighty gushing flow of water.
Yeah.
So if the Spirit is on you to teach this truth, you can't hide it. You can't force it. You gotta do it, man.
Yeah.
It's a burning,
Right.
yeah, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah said that. Yeah.
So you guys that be taking time off, man, you don't be doing it. You can come out when you want to come out, man. The Most High is really not dealing with you. You know,
You're dry.
you're dry. You have no water in you. You know.
I got a quick precept. Psalms 36:8. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness.
That know thee.
That no.
The Most High is showing love and kindness unto the ones that know Him. And there's a small handful that actually know Him. And if you can't get it, you ain't meant to get it. You know, when you go to try to explain it to Jake and they just can't see it, they buck up against it, man, you wasting your time trying to. And that's why Captain Cesariak, he don't want to do debates with them guys no more, because he found out after X amount of years, since what, 2012, 2013 up until now, it's a waste of time. You're going to have a debate, then you're going to discuss who won the debate, and then you're going to have another debate on top of that, then you're going to have another debate, and they do that just to get the gathering of the people, the suckers out there, to pay money to see that goddamn
Yeah, to
debate,
make
man.
money. Yeah.
Some of that is doing it for the money, man.
Yeah. It just goes round and round.
Just goes round and round. And like the Prince song, round and round.
Yeah.
Because Jake don't understand, and if you know Jake is stupid, you're going to use his ass. Yeah, go ahead, Art.
You were all set with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is Psalms 24. Pretty much this whole Psalms is back. 24 verse 1 on down. It says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, like we just read, the uncircumcised, the unclean shall not come in. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul into vanity, nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive the blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the power of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob.
And you
Selah.
seek him because the Most High put the Spirit on you too. Therefore seek him.
Huh. Like,
The Most High got to put the Spirit on you first for you to really seek him, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's some guys that come in this thing telling us, oh, the Lord, we found out the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. And the Most High going to take it right back from you.
Yahushua said, no man can come to me except the Father from
Which
heaven.
set me, draw him.
Yep, yep.
Quick precept. John 3:27. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven.
Yeah, so if you ain't meant to get it, you ain't going to get it. And if you come into this thinking that you got it, and the Most High push you out, you never had it. You know?
Yeah, in the Red Bible, there's a little number 4. It says, where it says, receive nothing or take unto himself.
So a lot of guys through the years have come through this thing and then went right back into the world. I'm talking about thousands. The guys that I personally know.
Oh yeah.
I name names too, but there'll be a laundry list.
Yeah.
Guys that came into this thing, did 2 years, did 10 years, did 20 years, and sold the hell out, man.
Yep.
Yeah, brother put a comment. I wish for the day that I can meet you guys.
Well, it's not important, brother.
Yeah.
Just met.
You don't want to meet us.
Yeah.
You don't want to meet us. We're not important,
Yeah.
okay? Just get closer to the, like the song said, take a closer walk with me.
Yeah. He met the most important person in the spirit, Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, that just
through
deal with
us.
the Spirit, brother.
Yeah, through
We
us.
just men just like you men, man.
Yeah.
When you be around us enough, you don't want to be around us no more.
No,
Man,
no,
who
I
the
don't.
fuck these niggas, man?
Yeah.
You don't find out we regular dudes, man. We
Ultra
shit like
boring.
you. I know, well, not boring, but you know, we.
Well, I'm boring.
No, what we do is we very focus on this truth. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we in
yeah.
the car, we talk. Well, we might laugh and joke, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But we talking about scriptures and stuff. We're going into scriptures. We're thinking about scriptures.
Yeah.
And we're like that girl in Coming to America. I do my movies. I make my videos.
Yeah.
Write my own videos. Well, she was the only righteous one. I write
Yeah,
my
yeah,
own videos.
yeah.
Hey, brother, hey, do like us. Don't be around. You don't have to be around us, brother. If the Most High make it where you meet us, a big deal, brother. It's a big goddamn deal.
We're working for our salvation,
We're
just like
working
him.
For our salvation,
Just like you.
Be working
For yours.
Your salvation.
Your salvation. We're doing well. The scriptures say after we've done this, say we're unprofitable servants, for we've done that which we're opposed to do.
Opposed to.
Opposed to do.
Yep.
You know. So, yeah.
Is he friendly? What's his name? Hey, Moose.
That's a lab. What breed of dog is that? Lab. Lab. Yeah. Labrador. Yes, sir.
We in league with the animals.
Yeah, they know we're set to rule next. They know, the animals know.
No, that was it. I got another precept unless you got. This is dealing with the 2/3 how they can't get this message, you know. But the ones that the Most High.
And
has
we
set
didn't
up.
figure this thing out, man.
Right.
The Most High came to us.
Yeah.
We're not all that special. We are special in fact, but based upon the fact that the Most High did choose us. But this is nothing that we figured out. Okay?
Yeah, Yahushua told his disciples, rejoice that your names are written in heaven. That's what he told his disciples. He said, don't rejoice that you have power over the spirits, but rather rejoice that your name is written in heaven.
Yeah, he said, Khan, to water for the heads up, Khan.
Yeah, because we're just ordinary men, man.
Yeah, just seek after the Most High. Don't worry about us. And if we ever meet, we meet. No big deal. And them dudes from out of state 10 years ago, they would come down and
Yeah.
they don't even think about coming to New York, man. And we're not offended either.
Right.
We're not offended, you know?
It's like that.
It's like that, and that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. Good.
Go ahead.
All right, this is St. John chapter 10, verse 23 on down. And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then the Jews round about him and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the anointed, tell us plainly. Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name.
What do you say? Yeah, let's go ahead and read it.
Nah, I already got rid of him.
Oh,
As soon as they put whack-a-mole, I'm playing,
Hey, you know
I'm
what,
playing
man?
whack-a-mole
You know what,
over
man?
here.
You know what, brother? Hey, you know what, man? They just, I guess they don't got nothing else to do.
No.
To talk shit, because they really can't go out there on the highways in the Bible. If they were true, they would be out there on the highways in the Bible. And I guarantee you, all scoffers, you click on their main page,
Oh, they ain't got
nothing on there, man. Like hip hop
look-
videos and shit. You know?
He's looking for attention.
Like their brains.
Yep.
Like women, man, looking for attention. Scorned women. Women that have been jilted. Dropped. Jilted and dropped.
Yep.
No.
Go ahead.
All right, it says, Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them.
Where you
and-
reading from?
This is St. John, the 10th chapter, and now I'm at the 27th verse.
Where'd you start at?
I started at 23.
You know what? Start at the top.
Where at the
Start
top?
Start
Somebody
at
asked
the
a
top.
question.
Yeah.
Ty Lynn, was
Yeah,
Moses
that's what
the
I-
only person who spoke to the Lord face to face?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Hey, the Most High said,
The
in
Most
Numbers-
High did come to Elijah and other people, but you know he actually came. He showed Moses his back,
Yeah, because
and there was a shine on them. That's why we gonna shine, because we're gonna see the Most High. You know.
the scripture say in Numbers 12, it said, with all other prophets, I'll show myself in dreams and visions, But with Moses, he
I
showed
showed myself
face
faces.
to face.
Is that in Numbers 12?
I believe it's Numbers
It's Numbers
12.
12, Numbers 11. Yeah.
Yeah, because Apostle Paul, he spoke to Yahweh Shai, kind of face to face.
Well, he went
kinda.
into the spiritual realm.
Yeah,
His spirit
but
left
not
his
the
body.
Most High. Moses spoke with the Most High.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
And that's why that's Peter coming back. Coming back in the reincarnation. And if you can't understand reincarnation, you
Oh,
don't
man,
know
you
the
lost.
scriptures, man.
You
You're
lost.
lost.
He lost.
That's why vocab can't get it.
And to back up Elder Apostle Ta'ah, Yahweh Shai taught reincarnation because he taught his disciples
Well,
that.
anytime I bring it up to vocab, he runs from it.
Yeah,
He says no. Then he doesn't want to even delve into it.
yeah,
Because he's scared.
yeah.
And like my man said, he's scared. He's scared.
yeah, that guy.
He's scared, man.
That guy. Yeah, yeah, because he told his disciples that John the Baptist was Elijah.
I was thinking about that nigga earlier today.
Oh, he's
What
scared.
did that to do with the rat, the sewer rat?
Oh
You're
yeah.
scared.
Yeah.
You're scared.
Yeah, that spot we were at down there.
Yeah.
Down there somewhere.
Down there somewhere.
That nigga just came up out the sewer, man.
Yeah,
Then he went right back to the sewer,
Yeah.
like a black smoke,
Yeah. He just disappeared.
just dissipated right into the
He
sewer.
wanted to give us all that smoke.
Yeah,
He just
came with that smoke.
I want all that smoke. Well, I ain't want that smoke.
That funky
Yeah,
odor.
that nigga was nothing but a funky cold Medina.
I got it. Numbers 12 and 6. And he said, hear my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, when then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
In other words, a prophet was like when the Lord came to Samuel, he came sort of in a vision, dreamish, to Eli, and he heard the name of the Lord, but he thought it was Eli, so it happened 3 times. So Eli knew, and he said, "Look, say, I hear speak, Lord." You know.
Con.
Oh, they showed you that in the movie Excalibur, when Percival went to get
Oh yeah,
the chalice,
yeah, the grill.
the grail.
Yeah,
Actually, it was a chalice, and when he saw it, he was trying to get it on the physical level, but he got it in the spiritual level, and you know, and he gave it to the king. The same thing, man.
yeah,
You know.
and it saved the
Brother
king.
has a question.
Yeah.
So, a Lion's Whelp. I have a quick question. Elders, Baba Kashab, you get to it. In Galatians 2, when Paul says he stood Peter to his face where he was to be blamed, was he admonishing Paul, or was it cut? Or was he saying not to care so much about that think of you of the law?
Well, actually, what that meant was that those Gentiles, read the story, those Gentiles were Israelites like Cornelius that was coming into the faith, but they were still dressed like heathens. They were Israelites that were dressed like heathens, you know? And you had the Jews that were born as Israelites, circumcised on the 8th day, wore the fringes, kept the laws, the high holy days. So Peter was playing both sides. He was kind of chilling with them, but when the Jews come around, he act like he wasn't with them.
Right.
So the Apostle Paul cursed his ass out because he was pretty much basically being a hypocrite.
So that's what it was.
So that proves right there, can a man of the Lord go off? You're damn right.
Yeah.
But another man got the power to check him.
Yeah,
And Peter and Paul was under Peter. And Paul checked him, man.
yeah.
It says the righteous man fought it 7 times.
That's
Gets
it.
back up.
That's it.
There's another question. Walter Everett. Was giant on the earth and was angels the father?
Was what? Was angels the what?
The father. So, I mean, that's how he wrote it.
I
Was-
don't understand how. Well, you
I
know what?
guess-
You know what? The giants in Revelation, in Genesis 6, is talking about us.
Right.
And the word there is not giant.
Right.
But when you come across the word Rephaim, those are giants. Like the Goliath of Gath, those are actually physical giants.
Right.
King Og was a physical giant. The giants in Genesis 6 is talking about Israelites. And the word there is Nephilim, which means fallen ones. We are the fallen ones. And we went and laid with women of the other nations.
Yep.
Which we do not. Hey, brother, I be looking at Edomites, Moabites. You know, that's Jake, man. That's Jake, dude.
It's a delicatessen.
That is delicatessen.
You got a question.
Hey,
Yeah.
Solomon had an Edomite wife. Now, I guarantee you that bitch was fine as hell. She probably had a tan, too.
Yeah. Yeah, the brother Lions Wolf said, Khan, that's what I perceived also. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But you could have got it. You could have figured it out yourself.
Got a
Hey, a lot of
question.
these questions that you brothers ask us, you can figure it out if you search. You know?
Question from the brother from Hawaii. Apostle.
And you know what this, and that's the new thing is the question.
Yeah.
You know, y'all start the question and answering thing.
Yeah.
But let me say this. When y'all did the question and answering thing the second time, was it a lot easier?
Yeah, it flowed.
Because you had more than one guy.
Yeah, it flowed.
You had more than, the flow was easier, man.
He says, Apostle, I have a question. Was Moses and Abraham the same person since they were considered to be his friend?
No.
No, they wasn't. No.
Abraham is not Moses.
Nope.
In my estimation. I will tell you who I think Abraham is in the spirit. That's Abba.
Abba, yeah.
That's Abba.
Well, he was called.
And that's Samuel.
Abba means father.
That's Samuel.
Father Abraham.
Because I told her we were all together with Arya, Shai, and all them. And it was me. I was like a young guy in there. And I looked at all of them. I said, look, man. I said, you know, Samuel is Abraham coming back. And he's also Abba. And I said in the spirit, they just kind of looked at me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They kind of gave me that look.
Yeah.
Like they didn't say you going off, brother. They just kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, anytime I read about Samuel, the prophet, I was like, that's Abba. He got the spirit of Abba, man.
Yeah,
Because Abba always came by himself.
right.
If you notice, you know.
He's like the
He's
well,
a
Yahushua is
he's
the
a
forerunner, but
forerunner, yep.
yeah, Yahushua is the forerunner,
Yep,
but
yep.
he's another forerunner
He's
too.
another he was the forerunner for Yahushua.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
And that's why the Lord said, among all the prophets, there's none greater than
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, because he was talking about the acts that he did when he was Elijah, Abraham, Samuel, you know,
And Abraham was the father of Isaac, which was Yahushua.
which was Yahushua.
So he preceded,
Yep. But that's through the Spirit.
through the Spirit.
Right?
Yeah.
So where's the books, text?
right.
Where's the text? It
Precept
ain't always
upon
about
precept,
text,
yeah.
brother. And it doesn't mean that I'm right because I said it. I'm saying it in the Spirit.
Right. Hey, well, but
That's why you clowns can't. You got a problem with the 12 tribes now. All right?
when Yahushua asked the disciples who
Yes,
they
Peter.
said.
Yeah, they're all the disciples. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
And then he said, thou art the Lord, the Messiah. And he said, blessed are you, Peter, for flesh and blood hath not revealed unto you, but my Father which is from heaven. You know?
Peter also said that Paul's letters were weighty.
Yep.
Why? Because the Lord was giving him all that stuff. The Lord was dealing with him damn near face to face.
Right.
You know?
Hey.
He was giving him the revelation.
Yeah, this brother went off on his comment he made, but this Nazarite vow, he said, the Spirit showed me we in World War III is going on for thousands of years, Ottoman versus Christendom. Off on that, brother.
No, World War III is Armageddon, brother. All right?
You're going off a little bit on that.
World War III is not in the scriptures. That war is Armageddon.
You want to?
I mean, technically, you can say that it has been an ongoing war since the time we was set up. It's been an ongoing war. You can't say that, but World War III is Armageddon.
Right, that's the last war.
That's
that
the
ends
last.
all.
That's what Esau calls it. World War III. The scriptures call it the end of days. You know.
Yeah, the brother Walter Everett again said, "Are we reincarnated, and do the Bible teaches that we are?"
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know the scriptures on that? There's many scriptures, man.
I got one right here.
There's many.
Ecclesiastes. You get Ecclesiastes.
He said, I got one right here.
Yeah, this is dealing with St. John, right? This is Revelation, the 10th chapter, and the 10th verse to the 11th
Oh, that's a
verse.
good one. That's a
It
good
says-
one.
And it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter.
And that's why a lot of guys, when they come into this, they're on fire. You know, what can I send you money? Can I send you brothers tights? Man, what the fuck I'm giving these niggas money for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. After a while, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what it is, because these niggas, I'm on the same level. Matter of fact, I'm over them. You know? And then it becomes bitter to you, and then you go out, you fall off, or you bug out.
Yeah.
You bug the hell out. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and many nations and tongues and kings.
Right.
So now, when did he do? Where's the record of that?
Right.
Was the Lord lying? Was the angel that was sent by the Lord lying to him? Where's the? He had to be maybe 100 years old.
Yep.
God.
So when did he get off the Isle of Patmos, off the salt mine, and go back and prophesy? No record of that. See, that's why when you throw that to Esau going to all kind of, well,
Scientific dumb
yeah,
shit.
he did come back, because Esau is not. Esau doesn't have a spiritual mind.
Right.
Esau is not a moral man, and he's not a spiritual man.
I got 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter.
Go ahead.
Dig it.
7 o'clock.
Okay, First Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, and I can go to the 12th verse on down. 1 Corinthians 2, verse 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of the Most High, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High, which things also we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man, which is Esau, receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
I got a question
Go ahead.
from King James. What are the record books that are canonical with the scriptures other than the Apocrypha and King James Version Bible?
Well,
You know-
that's a book. That's all you. That's a spiritual
Yeah,
book.
Ecclesiastes
Anything
12 and
outside
12.
of that is pretty much history. Like you got the Josephus.
Yeah,
Josephus is pretty much history. The book of Philo. You know,
yeah, we got everything we need.
the works of what's his Tacitus.
Yeah, there's a scripture, Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And when you say canon, what do you mean? Canon according to Esau? Or?
Give me also Isaiah 34 verse 16.
Because only Esau came up with that term, right? Canon.
Canonical.
It
Yeah,
means
canon.
law is
Yeah,
accepted.
I think the Roman
accepted.
Catholics came
Yeah.
up with that shit.
Canon. Well, who's Esau to say what is canon and what is not canon?
He's not a spiritual man. He's not a moral
Nothing but the
man.
devil. Hey, well, Psalm
Esau
15
is not a
16.
moral man. That's why he can't get these scriptures.
Psalm 15 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what is thou to do
Yep.
to declare my statutes?
And right, declare my statutes
Yeah. Who the hell is Esau
in our mouth.
to say what is canon and what is, especially the so-called Roman Catholic Church, a den of iniquity like that?
Yeah.
See, they put these books together and they set up printing presses for these books, but they don't understand these books. They might think that they understand them. See, that's why, man, if you're gonna do anything in life, you never go to a theological seminary, because when you come out, you are bugged the hell out, man.
Like vocab.
The first day of that man is
Worse.
the last day of that man is worse than the first.
Oh, yeah.
See, vocab is bugged the hell out, man.
He's bugged out.
And there's a video that he put up recently. There was a re-up that he pulled up where he went to one of the camps in the IUIC, and them dudes called the cops on him, right? Now, if vocab ever came to our camp, we wouldn't call the cops on
No,
him.
right.
We wouldn't tell them, you don't come around.
Right.
We'll be happy to see him. You know
We'll have
why?
fun with him.
Because we'll have fun with him, man.
Yeah.
The type of fun that I'm talking about is, you know, when a cat corners a rat or mouse,
Yeah.
and the cat goes like that
Yep.
and plays with it.
Yeah.
That's the type of fun that we will have
Oh, yeah.
with you and your boy
That's a good analogy.
Dr. Eric Mason.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why he ran. He was a big fat rat that ran under a rock.
And the rock is
Because the
sticking up.
divine prospect is looking for your ass, and Alizar is looking for your ass.
Quick precept for that guy
We
who
don't
asked
gotta
it.
look for y'all, because you, like, look, man,
That's right. That's right.
you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Ain't nothing but
Ecclesiastes 12:12, and further by these, my son, be admonished, meaning be warned, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. So you know he's asking for other books that are canon.
That's right.
We got everything we need. We got the Apocrypha and the Bible. That's it. That's what we need. Now you can use other books to support what's written in the Bible or the Apocrypha, or both. But to go into other books, you don't need to do that.
making many books. There's no way.
Yeah, I just read it. Yep, Ecclesiastes 12:12. Yep.
And I said,
I got it.
yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
You can't match any other book with this book. Now, we might read out of certain books and texts to confirm, back up what the scriptures are saying, but we're not saying those like the Zandervan Bible Dictionary. That's not a canonical book.
Right.
That's not a spiritual book that the Most High gave.
Right.
It just backs up what the scriptures are saying. Like, see, even Esau agrees with that. You know,
It's a reference.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah,
book. Right.
born probably 96 years before the flood. He was progenitor of the dark nations, not the Negroes. Why did they say that?
Right.
Because they know that the so-called Negroes are not Israelites. Now, they didn't tell you, they forgot to tell you, if they're saying that the sons of Ham have nothing to do with the Negroes, then they know who the Negroes are.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey.
But they're not going to tell. Like Ike Turner, don't tell.
It's just a what you call it, a reference book. These
That's
are
just a reference book. A reference book.
And then the precept said the prophecy said they'd tell us otherwise. In the land where thou was, where it was said unto thee, thou art, you are not my people.
There should
There,
be said
yeah.
unto you are the sons of the living power.
Yeah, there.
And
So
who's
yeah,
telling them that they're the sons
Us.
of the living power?
us. Yeah.
All right?
So it's not their job to tell us who we are. It's our job to tell our people who we are.
Yeah, because they want to keep us asleep so that their kingdom could keep going.
Oh well, that's Psalms.
Once
They only.
Israel rises, they
Yeah.
know that's their end.
That's Psalm 62.
Like in Ezra, the
Psalm-
nations didn't want us to build our
They only consume.
Psalm 62:4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly.
That's right.
So
that says a lot.
Yeah, they're set up to cast us down from our excellency, which is our nationality. Keep us from our nationality.
Yeah.
And then even when we find it, they'll put that word black on it, like black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
What the hell is that?
And that's why, if you notice, a lot of these Israelites are not even paying these guys any mind. They don't even take them. Nobody takes you serious, vocab. You know what I'm saying? Nobody takes you seriously.
The brother from Detroit, GMS Detroit, said he said he's going to be in Detroit. He went on GMS comment board.
That vocab's going to be in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, so then welcome in. Just let him in, man, and put them scriptures on his ass, man.
Get that spiritual stake.
Yeah, put them stakes out. Have fun with it, man. Like I said, the cat and the mouse scenario. Just have fun with that dude. He's easy. He's easy work, man.
Oh yeah, he's easy work.
Too
Easy work.
easy. Too easy.
You don't know nothing.
But we won't call the cops on that guy.
No. Why would they call the cops?
Why would you call the cops on him?
That means them guys are not
Yeah.
sure of what they're
We're
involved
gonna
in.
be like that what was that? Dover New Hampshire, Richard Pryor. You can't live.
I want to
play.
Yeah, can't.
Does it look like I'm smiling, motherfucker? We want to put the spiritual steak knife in your ass.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Hey,
But you are a complete lightweight, man. You're an infant to us.
they call
That's
it.
like General Zod to the president, man.
Yeah.
Bow to Zod.
Oh God. No.
No, Zod.
I gotta. Yeah, yeah.
Well, these are jakes. They were all jakes anyway. There were a bunch of Negroes on the planet. Nick Robinson.
The book of Luke 21 and
Retcon means Krypton is Latin for nigga.
21, yeah, right? 21, 14, and 15. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what you shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
Yeah, like Polite brought out the thing about Jonah, and he asked Divine Prospect that actually happened, and Divine kind of tap dance around it. Well, because he's not a prophet.
Yeah.
He's basically another Josephus, you know. Of course, this fish swallowed Jonah.
Right.
Now, the scriptures say in Jonah that the Most High prepared a fish.
Yep.
So this could be a fish that we don't even know about.
Right.
The Most High created a fish big enough to swallow a man and not digest it.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But if it's in the book,
Right.
during the time of Joshua, if I'm not mistaken, we were speaking about last week about the sun
Yeah.
standing
Yep.
still.
Yep.
Do you believe that? Yes,
Yeah.
because it's in the book.
Yeah.
Now I can't explain it.
Right.
Right.
That goes beyond logic.
Right.
Right.
But the Most High goes beyond logic.
Yeah.
Hey, like this.
How was the Lord able to raise the dead? Esau can't do it.
Right.
Well, he goes on beyond logic. He has no beginning and no end.
He has no
So
beginning, no
logically,
end.
you can't
Well,
explain
well,
it.
Polite said he don't believe in the Most High anyway, so why even entertain that dude?
Yeah.
He's a damn fool. The fool said in his heart, there is no power.
That's right. And the three children that were put in the oven.
How can you explain that?
Right. And they didn't burn.
Unless you go to physics school and you go to graduate school and then you understand it. Because Esau understands things. He understands that you can bring a dead person back to life, but he can't do it. Now, if the Most High said, I'm going to give you that technology where you can bring the spirit back into a body, you fix the body, you bring the spirit back, the Most High can give them that technology.
Yeah.
But the Most High said, you ain't getting it.
Right.
The only thing I'm going to give you is the Urim and the Torah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So be happy with that, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
He gave up that right. So that was
That's
part of
it.
Plus-
You better be happy that you got the Urim and the Torah technology,
Yeah,
man.
we just did it.
And
Plus-
that's an old technology. You all amazed at the web. This is an old technology that the Levites had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
And that's why your son he break down them computers and fix it.
yeah.
Hey, why?
yeah.
Because Urim and the Torah, man.
Yeah, Urim and Thummim.
I'm pretty good with the web my damn self. Something go on, I kind of know how to. Like if I wasn't lazy and I really got into it, I have that mind. I have that scientifical, mathematical mind.
Con-
You know, because
Very
those are my two favorite subjects: science and math, man.
yeah. Oh, science means knowledge. Math means truth.
Means truth. Amas.
A muff, yeah. If the numbers don't add up, it ain't the truth.
That's it.
Science and truth.
And everything is numbers, man.
Everything is numbers.
broken down in the
Numbers.
codes, codification. The scriptures are broken down in the codes, man.
Well, there's this guy, Ivan Panem, I think his name was, Ivan Panem. He found out that in the Hebrew, when you add up certain scriptures, they all add up to prime numbers. You know?
Because
Which
the Bible is nothing but supreme mathematics.
Yeah, it's numbers, yeah.
So if I say, well, look, brother, hand me them supreme mathematics. I'm saying, give me the scriptures. You know?
The parchments.
That's it. Yeah, that's supreme mathematics.
Yeah.
If you go to
Yeah, Ivan.
Revelation 17 and 18, go to that real quick. Is it Revelation 17 and 18? Go to Revelation
great
17
city.
and 18.
I believe his name is Ivan Panem. Ivan
It's
Panem.
either 17 or 15. The great ruler,
Yeah, he found out that
domination of the earth.
that number 7.
17:5.
He found out that number 7
17 and 5. 17 and 5, you're right.
keeps running concurrently in the Bible when you add up the Hebrew, because
So
each
that's truth. That's what
yeah.
God.
So if the numbers are off, then it ain't the truth.
Ain't the truth.
Revelation 17:5. And upon her head, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Now, when you add that up numerically, in the Hebrew, it adds up to 666.
666, yeah.
Okay,
Like I think
and we did that.
Yeah.
Ariad showed me one way. I did it a different way, and it
Yeah.
still added up to 666. You know,
That's the number of the beast.
that's the number of the mark of the beast, which is going to come out of a miracle, which is the beast.
Yep.
Where we at? Where we at?
No.
There's a lull in the action. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's come on.
I had I had Son Ezra slide. bringing out how the nations don't want us to get back in power because that means that's their end. You know.
Oh, another example is Chi-Psi stigma.
Con. You know what you're getting at? Let me read
Okay.
this.
Because the
real
Heavenly Father,
it.
He deals with numbers too.
quick. Yeah.
You know, after 4 days or after 3 days, going into the fourth day, Yahweh was raised up out the grave.
Knowledge,
You know?
wisdom, understanding.
It rained on the earth, what, 40 days and nights?
Yep. 7 is perfection,
Yeah.
completion.
The Heavenly Father deals with numbers.
The Lord said, he spoke about the abomination of desolation spoken of in Daniel.
Right.
Now, if you ask most Israelites out there, they won't know what part of Daniel did he get that from. Anybody know? Anybody out there that's watching the videos?
YouTube land.
Yeah, what verse did you get that from? What chapter and verse did you get that from? And that also gives you a number. Give me Daniel 12 and go right to the point. It's around about the 10th, 11th, 12th verses.
Daniel chapter 12, verse. I'll start at 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand.
That's why vocab you can't get it. That's why Dr. Eric Mason can't get it. Go ahead.
It says, but the wise shall understand.
We understand it. We understand everything, man. We know all them breakdowns, man. Now, can any other camp say that? Not really. Go ahead.
And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up.
That's where the Lord quoted from. Daniel 12, and what's the verse?
11.
Go ahead.
There shall be 1,290 days.
Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm not going to say it. We'll go into it another time. That's why I kept throwing it out at y'all in the live question Q&A about 70 AD. When you read Matthew the 24th chapter, it ain't just talking about the end. It's talking about 72 points. 70 AD and now the end.
Come.
So you got to know where. There's a point there. There's a verse or a line where it's talking about 70 AD. You have Jake saying, "Well, that's the end of the world." Nope, that's 70 AD.
Right.
It says, blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,330 days. But go thou thy way to the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
That's reincarnation right there.
Yeah.
You're going to rest and stand in your lot at the end of the days. So Daniel is here. It could be you, Apostle Gabar. It could be one of them young brothers, you know? It could be a brother from another state, you know? But whoever he may be, he's doing the work.
Yeah.
He's out here right now, somewhere on the planet teaching the word.
Oh, definitely. He's doing the
And
work.
we don't know who he is. And then when the kingdom comes, brother, you this little Daniel, man. Oh shit, God, you Daniel. Oh, but you this guy. Oh my goodness, you know, you Jeremiah, you Isaiah.
Stephen,
Yep.
Stephen,
That's it.
Apollo.
We're all those guys.
Yeah,
We're all
back.
those guys, not just us,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
all you guys that come into this truth, man.
Yep.
Including guys that are righteous. That's not part of GMS, man.
Yeah.
But they're part of GMS in spirit.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
And like Elder Yaquad, which he's down with Zabak, Priest Zabak, he used to come out around us. He's one of the men. He got to be one of the men, man. And anytime he come out there, he got precept.
Yeah.
You know,
And he vibes with us like it ain't nothing.
and he vibes with us like it ain't nothing, man.
Yeah.
Very
Real humble
brother, you know?
dude. Yeah.
Yep.
But
He
he's
be out there in the winter too. You know?
yeah. But he's with
Now
Zabak.
Tara, you ain't.
That guy.
You ain't nothing.
That guy's proud too.
Yeah.
Well, the
Tara.
nigga,
And he don't
you
know
see that
that.
nigga for 2 years, all of a sudden
Yeah.
he pops up and he
Yeah.
stands there
Yeah.
like you've been out there all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
He
Zabak,
tight.
you need to kick him to the curb, man.
Dead
with
weight.
the big toe.
Dead weight.
Oh,
Literally.
yeah. Blood touch with the big toe. Yeah.
He's dead weight. Literally.
You
Yep.
guys going off.
And he types like he speaks too.
Yeah.
Like a caveman.
Guy murders the English language.
Types with his elbows.
Yeah,
He gotta be a bad motherfucker.
He types with his heels.
with his feet.
With
He
his
types
toes
with his
knuckles.
heels, man.
Types
Heel
with his
toe,
feet.
Each letter is about that big. He got a dino typewriter.
Damn.
Yeah, that dude's an embarrassment, man. First class embarrassment.
Did you?
Now, if you was always out there teaching constantly, we wouldn't say this about you, man.
No, I
We wouldn't
didn't
say
read
this about you, man.
the topic. I got a switch already.
But that's the spirit. So you take the loss, man.
Lashawan Tahar said, "Why do I know exactly who y'all talking about?" LOL.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned his name.
Yeah, well, we did mention his name. Yeah, Terra,
Terror is a terror.
Terra X,
Himself.
Terra X.
He's a terror to himself.
Now, we don't hate the guy.
No,
We
no.
don't
No,
hate the
no,
guy.
no.
And
But he
if
hates
you see
us.
him, He hates us.
He
We
hates
don't
us,
hate
though.
him, you know?
He hates
Other
us.
than that, he's a cool dude.
They love them that despitefully use.
That's it. Where we at? Let's go.
I got Ecclesiastes
There's a
1.
lull in the action.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Because we read about the prophet Daniel, how he going to stand in his life at the end of days. You know, because all the prophets are back. You know, all the prophets that prophesied in the different time periods are back in this time now.
Oh, did you read
But
first?
it's just that the spirit, the bodies are different, but it's the same spirit.
Did you
You know,
read
that's
first?
why it says there's no new thing under the sun.
Okay.
Sorry, was that?
No, did you read 1 Corinthians 14?
No.
32? I'll get it. 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. Come. And the spirits, and there's a precept too, I'll look it up. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Yeah,
That's reincarnation right
yeah.
there.
Because it means that whatever
First
prophet
John
you were in the past, you will be in this time. But it's just that there's, like we're going to read, there's no remembrance of the former things. Otherwise, we'll be able to know exactly who we were in the past. And really, if you knew that, then you wouldn't really want to do the work because you already knew that your position was secure.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
No?
If you knew
You
he
don't
was
want to know who
Ezekiel.
you are.
Nah,
The
nah.
most I said I can tell you, I don't want to know who I am.
No.
Yeah, because then you lose that fire, you know, to do the work. You know, it says back in Ecclesiastes 1 and 10, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. You know, and the Lord does that, you know, to block, you know, certain, you know, things from our spirit that He doesn't want us to remember. You know,
I have a precept.
bring it out.
This is Job 19, verse 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High.
Right.
Now,
Because
the argument could be that that's resurrection, which is true. The Most High can resurrect you in that same body. He can have you come out of the grave and come up. Reincarnation is when that spirit dies
Come back.
and the spirit out of the body and comes back, like with Elijah.
Right.
Now the Christians' argument is, well, he never died. Well, he did die, but he didn't die like a normal person. He was translated.
Right.
You know, he didn't get sick and drop dead, and his
Right.
ghost
Exactly.
went into the spirit realm.
Right.
He went actually up into outer space, and his body dissolved
Right.
into the spiritual body, which is in Second Corinthians 5.
Right.
You can start that from the very top.
And same thing with Enoch. Right.
Same thing with Enoch. Yep, he was translated.
Yeah.
Same thing with Yahweh Shai, you could say.
Same
Acts.
thing with Yahweh Shai, because
Yeah,
he died, came back,
Right.
he
Then
went
they-
up into a ship,
Yep.
and that
Yeah.
and that actual body went up into space.
Right.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
body did not see corruption,
That's
like
it.
the prophecies.
That's
We
it.
know he got that body because there's a scripture where he's saying that there's going to come a day in the kingdom he's going to show how he was. How he was in,
You'll get that if you know where it's at.
That's
Yeah.
was it Zechariah.
Zechariah, yeah.
So that means he
He's
has
gonna
that
bring
body.
He has that body.
Yeah.
You know?
That,
2 Corinthians 5
And
and
they
1.
show you that in the movie The Fifth Element. Remember that movie? You never saw that movie? The Fifth Element?
I saw it.
Yeah, bits and
Hey,
pieces.
no,
of it.
that's one
Yeah.
of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
They had the remnants of the Supreme Being, and what they did was they had to bring the body back together, and it was a woman.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
I gotta watch it again.
Yeah,
Gotta watch it
good
again.
movie. And they always had prophets. One guy would die, another guy would be there. And you gotta watch it from the beginning to the end. You know?
That's not the one of them chicks, right? They were like prophets. They were, precogs. They call themselves precogs.
No,
That was
different
was
movie.
a Minority Report.
Yeah.
Minority.
The Fifth Element is with this guy, Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that dude? Chris something? Chris Tucker.
Yeah,
He was
Chris,
in-
well, he was a faggot.
Yeah, he played a
He's
flaming-
a fucking flaming faggot. A futuristic flaming faggot.
Which that's what they're pushing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. In the future, if you're gonna have so-called black men in the future, they're gonna be drag queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw a real devil.
They had the Blue Diva. Remember the Blue Diva? She was a singer. She was singing. She was an alien, but she could sing her ass off. And she could do all 8 octaves. Yep. Hey, if you go to YouTube, you put in the Blue Diva.
Uh-huh.
She's singing, man. You know,
Blue
the girl can sing, man. Go ahead.
Okay, this is
And she was
Zechariah.
singing that opera, then she started going in like hip hop, like switch it up, you know. Go ahead, read that.
This is Zechariah chapter 12, verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn.
So you're gonna bring back that body.
Yep.
Yeah, because like the scripture says, visage was more
I
marred.
was just thinking about that.
Okay.
Where Isaiah 53.
Gone.
Yeah, Shai used to use that scripture and say that how Shai wasn't a good-looking man. No, the prophecy is his face. They mess his face up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why Yeshua ain't in the truth no more.
Yeah.
Talking about, I never stopped teaching. Well, where you at, man? The scripture says in Isaiah,
And I shall see
your teachers.
teachers. Yeah. He
Can
ain't
I
doing
read
nothing.
Isaiah 52 first and then jump to the 53rd chapter?
Yeah.
He ain't doing nothing.
Isaiah 52 and 13. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently. He shall be exalted and extolled and be very high. Verse 14. As many were astonished at thee. His visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. So shall he sprinkle many nations. The kings shall shut their mouths at him, for that which hath not been told them shall they see.
What wasn't told them that he was a so-called black man? They expecting to see,
Other white
Edomite,
men. Yep.
and they're gonna see Jake, and all the angels are gonna be Jake, and their jaws are gonna drop.
Yep.
Go ahead.
You're gonna say, we fools.
Yep.
Said, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. It says, Isaiah 53 and 1, who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow
Well, that's
up.
our report, because we're reporters. We're spiritual. We're divine reporters. So we're telling you what's going to happen, and the mindset is, who's going to believe our report? Ain't nobody believe this until it happens, and when it actually happens, that's when you're going to believe. But it's going to be too goddamn late for you. Go ahead.
Quick precept. Just now that you said that, Ezekiel 2 and 5. It says, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall they know that there have been a prophet among them.
Where you reading from?
Ezekiel 2 and 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So we're supposed to tell them whether they listen or not.
And a lot of them are going to forbear.
A lot of them will forbear. For they are a rebellious house, yet shall they know that there have been a prophet among them. So, especially the ones who didn't listen, they're going to know when the time comes, oh, well, there was men telling us this, which those men are prophets,
Then shall they know that a prophet has been among
have been among them.
Okay?
Because pursuant to, what's that, Jeremiah 28:9, the Lord always sent his prophets
Oh, right.
before he destroyed the kingdom. And America is no different.
Shake the hand.
Right.
And then,
Go to the gates of the noble.
yeah, and in the book of Revelation, it says, rejoice thou holy of prophets, thou holy men, holy apostles and prophets, for the Lord have avenged you. And so the prophets are right here, and they're going to see America's destruction. And one of the reasons the Lord is going to do it is to avenge his prophets.
Well, it says rejoice in Revelation 18.
Yeah,
When we in them ships, we're going to rejoice.
yeah.
When you see the ships, Richard,
The ships.
the ships, then we will be killing you.
And all those people that forbear, they didn't want to listen to the word, they're going to be destroyed right
We're going
along.
to be destroyed, and we're
Yeah.
going to see them.
And we're gonna
Only
see
one
'em,
thing I shall let
They'll see the reward of the wicked. Yeah.
And the wicked's talk about Edomites and Jacob.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, somebody asked if Israelite men sleep with other women of other nations, do the reincarnate still occur?
Of course,
Yeah.
Of
The
course.
Israelites.
because the seed is from the man.
Yeah.
No matter who we pop,
Yeah. And the mother
you
nation.
know, our child is coming out, man.
Yeah. The mother nation, they're reincarnated too. They come
We don't
back
need
in
an
there.
Israelite woman to bring back the nation.
Huh.
We can use a Moabite woman, an Edomite woman, and then you got a lot of Jakes. They got Edomite mothers and grandmothers mixed up in them, man. That's why we're different shades of brown. Light skin, some of us look like Edomites, man.
Huh.
Some of us look like crackers. All this mess over our cracker.
Yeah.
That was from that famous
Cornelius Council.
That was it. Well, that's what it's called, the Cornelius Council.
Cornelius
Cornelius
Council.
Council. Like you had the Nicene Council.
Yeah.
You had the, what was the other council?
Council of
The
The
Council
Council
of
of
Trent.
Trent.
We had
Yeah,
many
yeah.
councils, man. You know? So that was the Cornelius Council.
That's going to be written in the books.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
it.
For the Cornelius. Yeah, that's the new book of Acts.
Yeah, the Cornelius.
Yeah.
His brother, that council was so
Intense.
intense. We almost started fighting each other.
It was
man.
a high-tech lynching.
It was a high check.
The last one, we ain't even sit
And
down.
and all you motherfuckers, you gonna bow, man.
That's right.
Yeah?
And you motherfuckers that came up against the Cornelius thing, you the same bitch ass niggas teaching that Cornelius is an Israelite. Now.
Yeah.
You know?
Hypocrites.
I got a quick one.
So who was justified in that council? We were.
We
man.
were.
Right.
And Billy Goat McGruff, you in the spiritual
Oh,
world.
he's in the spirit
You
world.
back there eating a doggy biscuit and shit, you know?
And he knows
Satan
that.
got you bent over, man.
And now he knows that Cornelius is Israelite, for sure.
Yeah, that nigga.
Close the book, close the book.
Close the book, close the book.
I got a quick precept.
Truly, like the scriptures say, you don't put new wine in
That's it.
old bottles.
Well, these are old niggas.
And that was an
These are
old bottle,
niggas.
old
But you
crackling
know what proved
bottle.
It? You know what proved it? We're
Yeah.
talking about a mafia for you people out there from the old one West days.
Yeah.
A mafia said we was at the house of David and we were in the back. It was myself. You were teaching. It was myself. It was Nate, famous Nate. The famous Nate.
Famous
It's
Nate.
hot dog.
Nathan's.
It was myself, Nate, and the mafia and a couple other brothers. And I went into it, and Nate was like, you know him.
Yeah.
And mafia said, close the book, close the book. And Nate said, what you mean close the book? He said, I see it. And if you went on a fast, you would see it too. Then the following week, he said, I never said that. Couldn't answer the Israelites.
You're a liar.
And I called you a goddamn liar, man.
Yeah.
I want to address.
Yeah, you got mad at the council and say, I want to talk about Tahar calling me a liar. Everybody went, ah!
Because you got caught in a lie.
Yeah, man.
If you lying, then I
Lie.
can call you a liar.
Old greasy liar. He was
Show
an
you he
old
was lying.
greasy nigga.
He shut down. He didn't say that. I got a quick precept.
Yep.
Isaiah 66:5. Hear the word of the
Oh,
Lord.
and that's a fulfillment of they shall cast you out of their synagogue.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They
Oh,
cast us
yeah.
out.
They kicked us out. They said, get out.
Isaiah 66:5. Hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified.
It was for the Lord's name's sake we were cast out. We were defending the gospel.
Yep. But he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
They
They're
shall
gonna
be ashamed.
man. They're gonna be ashamed.
Exactly.
All of them.
Hey, well, that's why Ben is the way he is today.
Yeah,
Ben,
he's a
Ben,
zombie.
Ben, he's like a zombie, man.
Go resurrect Michael Jackson so he can sing that song. Ben, the two of us need look no more. You got Ben doing this shit. We found what we've been looking for. Yeah, full of
Ben.
Cheerios.
a hot bowl of oxtails and shit.
Ben.
With some
Toothpick.
plantains on it. Hey, we bugging out, man. But
Mr.
you know
Toothpick.
us, man. You know us.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that's the gangster Ben.
Yeah, Gangsta Ben.
That dude, he came out to the camp, man. He looked like he was ready to jump. We should have dug a hole for him, man, and just threw his ass in there, man.
And Samaka Moff said, I love to hard.
Hey,
Oh, that's that person from Puerto Rico.
frosted,
Hey, man,
It's
you
about-
gotta you gotta have fun.
No, you gotta have fun with it, man.
You
You
gotta have fun with
gotta, you
this
gotta,
thing, man.
yeah, hell yeah.
frosted checks with some goat milk.
Go milk this good,
Yeah,
man. You know?
Yeah, Ben, Gangsta
Somebody said
Ben,
singing
Toothpick
to the
Ben.
gutter. Oh yeah, the toothpick gangster.
Yeah. He came in there. You remember how he came in there, that toothpick?
Sucking his teeth.
Yeah, like he was going gangster. He didn't know we were on a fast that day too. We were on a fast, the Day of Atonement fast.
Day of Atonement type fast.
Yeah.
We didn't tell you niggas, man.
Nope. We even went on a fast.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
Because just to check ourselves.
Right.
Like if maybe we're going off.
Right.
So we checked. We did the righteous thing. We went on a fast.
Yeah, examine thyself.
Examine thyself. You guys didn't do it, man. And Ben and Barack and them, they still teaching that Cornelius. How stupid can you be?
Yeah.
Here it is almost 2020, and you still teaching that Cornelius Edomite.
That's out of
Ah,
pride.
he's an Edomite, ah. You know, Barack.
Oh, yeah, Barack, yeah.
He's an Edomite, ah.
Obama's an antichrist.
Obama's an antichrist.
He's an anti-type.
Anti-type.
Yeah, anti-type.
You guys are a joke, man. That's why the Most High took all that spirit from you, man.
Yeah. What you did to us.
And all these years later, we were justified in the spirit. St. John 16
And the only guy we cool with pretty much is Mufasa, which is the big Benjamite brother, man.
Well, he wasn't back there though.
Well, he wasn't back there.
Yeah,
He wasn't back there. And yeah, he checked his roots, and his roots go back to Ghana.
Okay.
You know?
I'll check that out.
So he might be Judah then.
Yeah, he's Judah. Probably Judah. You know? Go ahead.
St. John 16:1.
The anti-type.
Well, then he couldn't join ISUPK then if his
Yeah.
roots
Well,
go back
hold
to
on,
Ghana.
wait a minute. When he was out there in Jerusalem, he was out there with Captain Zazariak, and they did a video together. So why didn't Captain Zazariak, I can't talk to you
Yeah.
because you're a Hamite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I found out Anita Baker's a Nigerian.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman's Nigerian. Hey, man, most of these actors are Nigerian, man.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Wasn't he the actor in the '80s? He played the Howard Shy. Damn, what the hell? Wasn't he Nigerian too?
Oh, that dude.
What the hell is
I
his
know you're
name?
talking
Oh,
about.
Blair Underwood?
Blair Underwood.
Yeah, he's Nigerian.
Yeah, Blair Underwood.
Yep.
St. John 16:1. These things
Sade.
have I spoken unto you.
Sade's Nigerian.
I thought you said Strong J.
Strong J. Yeah. Well, I think her background is from. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Ghana though. You're talking about Grace
She's
Jones.
Benjamin, right? She's a
Yeah, but her background goes back to some part in Africa.
Right.
Yeah.
She's definitely
Got her. She had said it too. Some tribe from Africa she was from. You could see her features. You could see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
St. John 16:1. These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth the Most High service.
And that's what they used to do back then. They used to kill the prophets. Like you got an example with Stephen.
Yep.
And Saul was present before he became the Apostle Paul. He was present at the death of Stephen. And he thought he was doing, like the Apostle Paul said, I did it ignorantly in unbelief. He thought he was doing the Most High service when at the death of Stephen.
Right.
But Stephen was actually a righteous man.
Who was that at the council? Was that Taza Joke that said if this was the king, then you'd be put to death?
Yeah, that was Taz's joke. Yeah, he wanted to see us be put to death.
Yeah.
And where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
He dropped out a long time ago. That phony ass nigga.
Yeah. And like Elder Pop Shaw said, even up there in Boston right now, you have those clowns,
They're the two clowns.
Saaja and Arum.
Yeah.
You know, they acting like if they're some benevolent Christian. You know, but they had a part to do it. They had some. They was real devilish back then.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You
If
know.
they could have, they would have tried to kill him.
Yeah, well, that's what they wanted to do, and then
Stoners.
it was so bad that they said they didn't even want to say the prayers with us at the end of the
Yep.
of the night.
And then the Lord cursed them.
Yeah, the Most High, and Yahweh Bashim Shai to all those guys that came up against us in that council, man.
Yep,
You know?
Yeah.
May the Most High destroy you. I hate you.
that's right.
And when the Most High destroy you, I'm going to drink you your destruction. You know?
Yeah. With a toast to you.
Yeah, because if they had their way, we would
Because
have
you guys are not doing the work, man.
gone.
Yeah.
You guys are not doing the work. We're the ones out here still doing the work.
Yep,
Unlike you fucking demons, man.
we're in the
Yeah,
church.
they made all that
And there
whoop
was
to
a
do.
blessing that we was kicked out, man.
Oh, they did us a favor. Because
Oh, they
right.
did us a favor because they never wanted to go out back there.
Yeah.
They always wanted to have a secret special council every goddamn week
Yeah, yeah. Special counsel. Yep.
because they really didn't want to go out their damn self. So fuck them, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, well,
That's why earlier you heard Apostle Elzar say Ben and those guys not even going out. Back then they didn't want to
They
go
and
out.
Barack don't go out. They don't go out.
Back then they didn't
They
want to
have
go
those
out.
meetings. They'll go to different states and have meetings.
Right.
And they'll talk about, I'm the head, he's the second in command, and we are your leaders. That's all these niggas do.
Yeah.
What about going out and if you do go out, but you don't, even in the summertime, you go out on a nice spring day.
what's that
So-called perfect day.
Mashara Yashala?
Yeah, the governor.
Yeah, Masharah Yasharallah.
That bullshit went back to the One West days with Lahab. And Lahab's bugged the fuck out, man. He's
Yeah.
teaching that Edomites can make it.
Yeah, Masharah Yasharallah was nothing but the central command.
The Central Command, yeah.
Revived
so
again.
them guys are not, man. I don't see them guys being
Nah,
men of the Lord.
no.
Men of the Lord will do the work of the Lord, man.
It's kind of like that scene in the movie Braveheart, where those guys, the Scottish lords, all they wanted to do was sit around the table and argue who's who, and then what's his name? My man came in there with the axe. Yeah. And he cursed them all out. He said, "You guys are into titles, but people don't follow titles. People follow courage."
Right.
So he said, "I go." What did he say? I go to save a republic or save a union, something like that. He cut all them guys. They
And
were
that's
sitting.
why you got guys that are GMS that are, and you guys that are out there in the different states, you guys are the leader, you got guys that are bullshitting, slacking, kick them the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
You know? We don't need motherfuckers like that, man. Join another camp.
I got a quick precept. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 1. Finally, brethren, pray for us, that the word of the Lord may have free course, and be glorified even as it is with you.
That's exactly what happened, brothers. When they kicked us out of the house of David back in 1996, the word of the Lord had free course, because right after that, the Lord blessed us with all kind of revelations.
Yep.
Not just the Cornelius thing. From there, it went to Romans, the 11th chapter. From there, it went to the Israelite foreigners. We even had a page on our website. We called it the Israelite foreigners, and we're bringing out all. This was way back in 1997, 98.
Yep.
So we've been knowing that for a long time about the Israelite foreigners.
It says,
I dare say we're like experts on that subject. The Israelite foreigners, forget about it. We're like experts on that subject because we've been doing it for more than 20 years.
Yeah, and anytime somebody makes a video about the One Westers, they always mention our name mixed in with our IUIC, ISUPK, GMS. You know?
I just thought about
Say
it,
that
man.
those are the three major camps, but the
Yeah.
number one camp, as far as the scriptures, going into the scriptures, doing the work, is us.
Yeah.
By far, you know?
I just thought about it. We're really experts on that Israelite foreigner thing. We're like the number one experts. We really are. I'm not bragging and
And
boasting.
we became
But-
wiser than our teachers.
Yeah.
So if Ariana and Shaw come back, we got to teach them to bring them on the level, because they're on a low level right now.
Yeah, because brothers, when we had our website, which Elder Sakaran, you have some of the pages of the website.
I had.
Yeah.
I used to keep them,
Yeah, you used to keep them. We had a section, our website had a section called Israelite Foreigners.
Yeah.
And I think you put the page, you and me, was it you and me or you put it?
I think we put it
We put it together, yeah. Because we were working on the website together.
Verse 2, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men, for all men have not faith.
Yeah.
I have a
There
precept.
it is.
If I may, possible.
Go ahead.
Yes.
This is Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. That's what they were scorning
Yeah,
us.
that's what they want.
And they thought they were.
They want to be in a power ship or trip
Right.
and be over. What's that scripture in Matthew? The Lord said, the Gentiles
Exercise
authority.
Matt.
That's what these guys want to do, man. And we got these young men in different parts of the city teaching. We ain't over them, man. We get together, we salute them, hug them, and that's it, man.
That's it.
If a situation come up, so they don't feel like they're being burdened. As long as you're doing the work, we ain't gonna be on your ass.
That's it.
I'm gonna keep on reading to you. It says, "But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night."
Day and night.
Yeah, not only when they go out to camp.
Yeah, when they feel like it,
Oh yeah.
or when they feel like it.
I got one in Mark. Mark 10:42.
You found it?
But Yahushua called them to him and saith unto them, you know that they which are accounted to rule over the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and their great ones exercise authorities upon them. It says, but so shall it not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister. And whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be servant of all. For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a
Now,
ransom.
what does that mean? To teach you.
Right.
If you have a question concerning this scripture and that scripture, you're supposed to teach it.
Right. Break it
That's
down.
we can give them orders. Do this, do that. Go out to the camp on this day. You know. But the ministering part is when we feed you.
Yeah.
Feed my sheep.
Show them how to do the Passover. We showed them how to
That's
keep
it.
certain
That's
high
it.
holy
That's
days.
it.
Taught them the what is it? Sabbath. How to keep the Sabbath. We ministered unto them. It's all part of ministering.
No, that I read it.
And there's an order.
Huh.
That's why what is that? Matthew 18. Either Matthew 18 or Matthew 16. When the Lord set up Peter,
Yeah.
he gave
16.
an order.
16, I think it is. Matthew 16.
Matthew chapter 16 and verse 18.
This brother has a question after
All
you
right, well,
read
we're
that.
going to read that.
Yeah, after you read.
It says, and I say unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And then you have the scripture in Psalms, I think it's 132, it said there are set thrones of David.
Set thrones of judgment. Yep.
Yeah, and then you have in Corinthians, it said, let all things be done decently and in order. You know?
And he goes on to say that, and whatsoever thou bound upon earth shall be bound in heaven. And what is in the same chapter? Go ahead and read that.
It says, and I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in
Now,
heaven.
when I put that curse on that dude and commanded the congregation to put a curse on that dude, that's bound in heaven. The
right.
Lord is in agreement with that.
God.
So the Most High is going to judge that nigga.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't a man of the Lord. You're just a nigga.
Yeah.
And the Most High is going to destroy you.
Well, the
right.
scriptures call them brute beasts.
They're brute beasts.
They're
Yep.
brute.
Well, he
Just
knows
a brute.
that. That's why he's all, fidgeting.
Coming with that brother stuff. First of all,
Yeah.
you're not a brother.
Right.
The scripture, who is my brother, who is my sister, who is my mother, for them to do the will of the Father.
Right.
All right, and then the Lord condemned other Israelites. He condemned the leaders over him, which were the scribes and Pharisees.
Yeah.
He said, "You are from beneath, I am from above. You are
this
from this world, I am not from this world."
And then the Apostle Paul put curses on certain guys. He sick Satan them.
No, but he forgets them scriptures. All of a sudden, they amnesia with them goddamn scriptures, man. With them blessed scriptures.
Yeah.
Nigga, you ain't nothing but a nigga, man. Just like Nazi. Nazi is nothing but a nigga.
Brutes.
You brute beast.
Brute
And you
beasts.
thought you were cool. You wind up knowing that you ain't nothing but a goddamn fool.
Yeah, from Lashawanta, I'm just now hearing of America being known as Canaan. Could you expound a little, Baba Kushar?
Because this was Canaan before, when during the time of Solomon, he had ships. Go to that. If you look up the word ship, it'll take you right to it. He had a great navy of ships, and he had the ships go.
I got him marked.
Yeah.
This is
At that time, that was known as the land of Canaan because it was Canaanites that were actually shipfarers that were going back and forth to the Americas to bring peacocks and different things, spices,
Exotic.
exotic things. To this place, America, Canaan, the land of Canaan, was nothing but a like Brazil. We call it a forest,
Right.
greenery, just nothing but beautiful greenery, man.
Yep.
You know, it's a beautiful place.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of like animals.
this is
and-
Ophir, man.
Yeah,
The fine gold
yep,
of Ophir.
Yep.
Yep.
Then you had like different herbs and
Different
spices
herbs.
and
You
all
had
that.
apes. You had peacocks. You had rare animals. Rare.
The Amazon.
The Amazon. Yeah. Well, this wasn't
that's-
Amazon. This was
yeah,
part of the
well,
Amazon. You
cut,
gotta understand the
right,
Amazon.
right, it's all together.
From Canada
Panda,
all the way down to
Yeah.
Brazil, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know?
Pangea.
It was a paradise.
That was a paradise
Yeah, he
on
said,
the other side of the world.
he said, with Hiram.
Yeah.
Then he said,
Yeah, Hiram. Yeah.
Right.
and that's how then he said, and that's how,
Yeah, things be moving.
I know, and that's how the Olmecs are Canaanites. Mentioned about
Yeah,
the
they would
Olmec.
have to be Canaanites. Yeah, that's why. You
well,
had
they look
those
like
big heads.
Canaanites. Yeah,
They look like
big-
Canaanites.
Yeah, oh man.
That's the Esau knows. Esau knows the first that came over here before Columbus was the Olmecs, and that's how the tribes knew, the so-called Latin tribes knew to come over here. They came over here because they knew that this place. Let's go over here so we can keep the laws right. So we don't. Let's get away from the heathen.
Right.
You know.
It's a place where never mankind dwelt.
Mankind
Right.
dwelt.
They went over there, but they didn't
dwell over
mean
there.
to live.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't build civilization.
Exactly.
Like that.
They just cut down trees.
And just like in certain movies, they'll go to another planet to get the resources and bring it back. They don't stay there. So what Jake said, what Israel said was, look, we know that, let's go to the other side of paradise. You know? Or the movie Christopher Columbus, there was two of them.
Right.
What was it? Some
1492.
conquest,
the
1490, the conquest of paradise or whatever, because they call that paradise.
Yeah. Beautiful.
You have the Phoenicians.
The Phoenicians,
The Phoenicians, which are the same.
Which
same
are Canaanites.
Canaanites.
Well, that's
yeah.
a Greek way of saying Canaanite.
Okay. 1 Kings 9 and 26. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Elath, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea.
Hiram was a Canaanite, and those shipmen under him were Canaanites. So the first navy,
Navy.
navy was really the Canaanites. They were the experts. Go ahead.
You know, when it says they had knowledge of the sea, meaning the currents, they knew how to, because the ship,
How to maneuver.
The trade winds.
yeah, the trade
and all that.
yeah, the currents,
Yeah.
yep, which would bring the ship.
Because you got to know you
gotta
on
know
the
those
ship,
currents.
Brother. You got to know where you're going, man.
Yeah,
Because when you go back to Columbus, and all the, when he was a little boy, he came up under Prince Henry the Navigator.
yeah,
Was they got a statue of? They say he's Portuguese.
Right.
They got a statue of him up there in Mass.
yeah, Fall River.
And in Fall River.
Yeah.
And they said, and anybody on the planet Earth that wanted to know about seagoing, they had to see this guy. He was the expert, you know.
Yeah,
So Columbus came up under him.
Yeah.
and if you look at the globe, there's natural sea
Oh,
currents
exactly.
flowing. Yeah, and they had knowledge of that,
That's it.
because you don't want to be sailing
You go at a
against the
certain
current.
time of the year, you would run into
Floods and
tornadoes.
storms. Yeah,
And just like here in America, you got tornado season.
Yep.
They know that tornado season is gonna come at a certain time of the year.
Yeah.
We're in the time of tornado season, you know.
Yeah, as a Hebrew Israelite, Yochanan they travel by ship around the Horn of Africa. Yep, that's
Oh,
right.
exactly,
And if you look at
exactly.
the map, there's a natural current running around the
Yep,
Horn
yep,
of Africa.
yep.
And then the Lord said when the other tribes were going to come over here to meet up with the other tribes, they said the Lord held back the floods, and all that, and he held back all them storms so that they can get over here safely.
Yeah. And
know?
not too long ago, when they had the Ethiopian pirates, weren't they caught in them storms? Because them storms are still going on around that region.
There's a certain season, man. They knew
Yeah.
the season, man. Go ahead.
It says, and Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Solomon. And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold.
Ophir is where? America.
Yep.
Even the fine gold of the best gold came from America.
Right.
Go ahead.
420 talents and brought it to King Solomon. Now this is the 10th chapter and the 21st verse. And all King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. So
Ivory, apes, and peacocks. So there's your answer. Anyway, with that, we're going to close up. It's almost 8 o'clock. Quarter to 8.
yeah, and the peacocks really, when you go into the Hebrew, is really turkeys.
Okay.
You know, because the turkeys is they're native to the Americas, so-called America.
Yeah, so Lord